Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Scaresbrook, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Some more samples have arrived. Very grateful, as always, to open some wines and share my impressions. It is a privilege, and I'm very humbled. In this case, it is quite an historic winery, certainly for the Margaret River region in Western Australia, one of the originals, so going back probably around 35, 40 years. Quite a pedigree, particularly for the really classic varieties of the Margaret River, like Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon blends. I have actually tasted a wine from this producer, from my own cellar, on Let's Taste. And I'm excited to have a look at some more recent vintages of Mosswood. As mentioned, you know, very much a stalwart of the Margaret River region in Western Australia, working in that kind of maritime climate. And they do actually work with a number of different varieties, but in that, you know, real kind of core, the heart of the Margaret River wine region. So I'm actually going to be tasting some white wines on this edition, and I'll taste some red wines on a subsequent episode of Let's Taste. But we're going to start off with the Willybrup. They are based in Willybrup. I'm not sure if it's the Willybrup, but Semillon 2016. I think on a recent vintage episode of this series, I did talk about the Adelaide Hills region being arguably the place for Sauvignon Blanc. Probably the other place for Sauvignon Blanc historically in Australia has been the Margaret River region, but they tend to blend it with the Semillon variety. You don't see a lot of single variety or varietal Semillon wines out of Margaret River. So I'm interested to see what this is like. Of course, Semillon is a variety synonymous with the Hunter Valley region in New South Wales. Very pale colour, you know, pale straw, not even a hint of green, you know, quite pale yellow. Reasonably aromatic, lovely white and yellow fruits, quite floral. Just a little bit of herb sort of spice character, but we're very much talking in that kind of stone fruit realm. Even a hint of some orchard fruits like pear. Let's taste. Nice and bright and fresh on the palate, with some very good complexity too, which is not something you see as commonly in Semillon, certainly not young Semillon like this. It's very fine and precise, has good drive through the palate. The fruit is very clean and fresh. Again, consistent fruits with the aromatics, so very much in that stone fruit, kumquats, slightly green apricots, moving into nushy pear, golden delicious apple. It's reasonably zippy. The acidity is quite good. This is a really outstanding white wine. Recommended retail price of this is $38. I think it is absolutely representative of Semillon from the Margaret River region, for what there is in that kind of category. I think it probably is a wine that could see some age and would benefit from it. I'm struggling. At $38, I think that there would be a lot of people who would probably balk at the idea of paying that much for a Semillon wine that's not from the Hunter Valley. But having said that, Mosswood has such an incredible reputation for wines that a lot of people would be very happy to pay this much. I think it's a really outstanding wine. Myself personally, I probably wouldn't pick it. Semillon is not necessarily a grape variety that I'm super interested in, and certainly at that kind of price point I'd probably be looking at something else, but that's just my tastes. I think that is a really excellent and really well made wine. Really, I mean, outstanding balance on that. The second wine that I'm going to test is the 2015 Chardonnay. Recommended retail price of this one is $65, so we are looking at a reasonably premium price tag here. Chardonnay and the Margaret River have a very strong relationship. They do tend to produce some of the best white wine in Australia, and certainly some of the most expensive white wine in Australia. And Moss would have an incredible reputation for their Chardonnay. A little bit more colour here, but still fairly pale, still fairly light. Really super classic Margaret River Chardonnay aromatics. Lovely, lovely, cheesy, leesy. That mellow character. It really, I mean, this has seen a lot of work. I would think that, you know, it's all been in barrel. I would say that at least part of it, if not all of it, has been barrel fermented. And there's been a lot of lees stirring in there, because that's really giving it a very rich, leesy, cheesy sort of character. As far as the fruit profile, it is in the nectarine, white peach area of stone fruit, moving into very, very lean citrus notes, orange, lemon. It does have sort of a slightly flinty kind of aromatic, your struck match, you know, very classic Chardonnay. Let's taste. It does come across as being quite ripe in terms of the fruit on the palate. Very ripe stone fruits here. You know, we've moved away from the citrus that I saw on the nose into those riper fruit profiles, bordering on tropical. It's quite intense on the mid palate. You know, that barrel work, the lee stirring has really given a lot of kind of body weight and texture in that mid palate area. The acidity is quite intense. The oak is not actually very prominent. I don't think that there actually has been a lot of new oak. I would be surprised. It does sort of depend on how long it has been in barrel. The sulfur is a little bit full on for me in that wine. And it does kind of move into the realm of like a very classic kind of white burgundy expression of Chardonnay in terms of that kind of very smoky, sulfury kind of countenance. In this case, I would think that you'd need to cellar it. It is not really all together at the moment. The elements are all there, and they are very, very, very much, you know, turned up to 11 Spinal Tap style, but it is a bit disjointed. The fruit, the acidity, and the alcohol are just sort of clashing with each other at the moment. So I'd like to see that in a couple of years once it's sort of settled down in bottle. It is a really outstanding Chardonnay, and I don't think people would have too many problems paying that much for such an outstanding white wine. But I think you'd probably be doing a disservice to it, drinking it too young. Definitely it is one to be putting away. If you do like aged Chardonnay, it's something that outside of white Burgundy, a lot of people, or Chablis I guess, a lot of people don't really sell a Chardonnay, and I think that's a real shame because I've tasted some old, certainly Yarra Valley and Margaret River Chardonnays that have been absolutely beautiful. So I think, yeah, if you're looking at a drink now, drink later prospect, definitely the Semillon, although you could cellar it, the Chardonnay, absolutely put it away. But thank you very much, Mosswood, for sending me samples. I'm looking forward to tasting the red wines as well. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. If you did enjoy the video, please hit that like button. Share it on social media. It's a very simple process. Facebook, Twitter. I would love for you to come and visit me at intrepidwino.com. Get in contact with me there. Be sure to subscribe to the Intrepid Wino YouTube channel. There's at least 100 other editions of Let's Taste, and there's many more to come. So thank you very much, as always, for your support. But until next time, cheers.